one of the myths, I think, concerns the financial side. There is a conception or a perception, I guess, that United States education is quite expensive and is not affordable and out of reach for many students. So the two-year college system actually helps to dispel that myth by providing outstanding opportunities to cut the cost of the bachelor's degree in half at least. So most two-year community colleges would cost between $5,000 and $7,000 a year, and Foothill and De Anza colleges right now are about $5,300 for a whole year of tuition. And while you're studying there for 2 years, you're completing the same courses of major U.S. universities, particularly those that are on our articulation agreements, for example, UC Berkeley, or even private institutions like University of Southern California, Pepperdine, St. Mary's, for example, or Santa Clara, and you're not paying their tuition for the first 2 years. So when you transfer, you receive course credit, but you saved the difference on the cost. And another interesting characteristic is that there are more scholarships available between second and third year. While you can already establish your academic performance, you participate in extracurricular activities, which are plentiful at many college campuses. You can build up your resume, and you already appear as a well-rounded student with significant experience studying in an American institution, and you're then able to receive more partial and sometimes full scholarships. So it actually provides a wonderful opportunity for a student to get a bachelor's degree, sometimes from a very prestigious university, while not having to spend thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's probably one of the most important myths that I hear.
It's true that community colleges in the United States are both technical and vocational kinds of institutions, but the big difference from the typical community college in other countries is that they also have the transfer capacity. And what I mean by that is that a student can start here, do the first 2 years of university education, and then move on for the third and fourth year at the university, attaining the bachelor's degree. Most community colleges have articulation agreements with these institutions, so it's a seamless process, and it's the same degree in the end. The difference, however, is to the international student's advantage, because you get the associate degree in the first 2 years, and you have a year of optional practical training available to you. You get the second degree, the bachelor's degree, and you have another year of optional practical training. So 2 work permits, you might say, for 2 whole years in the United States. That student, with that language ability and experience, with the education, going back to their homeland for work, has terrific opportunities that the student that stayed will never have. So that's one of many. The other, of course, is the value proposition. They are much less expensive. Nova is 1/3 the price of the nearest university, which is a very good one. And that's probably the least expensive of the universities around. So already we're talking about 1/3 of the tuition price. The community college has smaller classes, teachers that are not preoccupied with research. They are engaged with the student one-on-one most of the time. There are supportive student services that help the students adapt to the United States, and writing centers and tutors, all which are free here, are what the student can use to kind of help with their studies. So you've got student clubs as well, associations and so forth, that the student can here become a better prepared university student while they're at the community college, all for less expense. So that's just part of the picture, but I think it's an important part.
We have international student counselors that are there available for them throughout their 2 years, or if they're here longer. We have a career counselor and we have a transfer counselor. And all the faculty really are available. That's the uniqueness of a community college. The classrooms are small. The faculty are available. Students writing essays to transfer to four-year schools. Faculty, staff, counselors are all available to advise them, review their essays. We have a writing center also for just getting some help in writing essays. In student activities, if students are eligible for the Honor Society, that offers transfer scholarships. A lot of four-year universities across the country offer scholarships for Phi Theta Kappa members. Not all of them offer them for F1 status students, but there are some, like American University, that'll offer $12,000 or $15,000 off tuition. Now they are looking at leadership. It's competitive. They're looking at community service. Marymount University offers $6,000 off for any Phi Theta Kappa member, including international students. We've had the largest scholarship across the country is Jack Kent Cooke. And it's very prestigious. There's only 50, and last year there was only 30 given out. In the past 4 years, our campus has had 3 Jack Kent Cooke scholars. And 2 of them have been F1 status students. And we have another one nominated. We only nominate 2 from the college. And we have another F1 student nominated this year, which we're hoping wins it. But so one of those students went to Columbia University on the scholarship, which can also carry them into graduate school, and another went to Georgetown University. Not guaranteeing Jack Kent Cooke scholarship, but we have faculty committees that will work with these students on their essays and draw out information and help them to present themselves in the best way. So everyone at the campus is available to them for information and support.
In my case, not necessarily, but definitely by time I found out that it's definitely an advantage for lots of students, simply because there are specific agreements with universities in the area which make it a bit easier for you to be accepted right away. You don't have to be on a waiting list in a way. At the same time, it also gives you the security that once you're done with a community college, you already at least have 1 or 2 possibilities afterward. So it's not like, you know, you're stuck somewhere. It's definitely something you can pursue. Personally, I felt like it's not that complex. I was surprised. I expected it to be much more complex, and I think there is this kind of image that it's complex. I think the more complex part of it is to take a decision where to go and to really have an understanding why you want to go there. Once you have clarified that, then the next things to do are things to do, but it's not as complex as you may expect.
I would definitely recommend doing some research themselves on different college websites. And if students are considering a community college option but are choosing between different colleges, I would first of all look, if they're interested in a bachelor's degree in the transfer option, I would look at the scope of their agreements with transfer universities. And that you can most often either find on the website or contact the transfer center at each college, or contact the international office who may have that information to share with a specific focus on international students. So for example, there may be some agreements with transfer universities that apply to international students and additional scholarships for international students. That would be an important consideration to see which agreements exist, which prestigious universities come to the campus to organize visits and workshops, because you want to know how many options you will have when you graduate from a 2-year system. So I would look at the transfer center activity, the transfer center resources, and the scope of the relationship. Another point of consideration would be the academic side and the connection to the industry and the location of the college. Community colleges very often work very closely with industry and companies developing customized programs, offering latest technologies. And so if you're interested in one of those areas, I would definitely recommend looking at the location. So Silicon Valley, for example, Southern California for maybe film industry, to see how many companies are around there and what's the scope of the collaboration with the college.